Sarsfield Bridge. I cycle back and forth over that bridge every day, travelling from home to school and back again. And now, as a freeman of the city, I can drive a herd of sheep over the Southside Bridge. Now this was the school, Crescent College, run by the Jesuit fathers. The building's still standing. Hope the same can be said of my old school friends. Look at the boys. Look.
I thought you'd be running to us, guy, with open arms.
I've just had me knee replaced.
Sebastian, I haven't seen you for years.
Oh, yes. Jim Saxton, Bobby Mulrooney and Mick Lees.
Mick, what do you remember about your first encounter with Terry Wogan?
I was sitting outside him, but I've always found him no problem. Very nice man.
What sort of a chap was he when he was 5 or 6 years old, Jim?
We were docile in the sense that we were obedient children. We were not rebellious. He was a well-behaved boy.
I've heard stories about beatings. Is that not true?
The house leathers wrapped on great job.
This is where you used to go to get your hands knocked off. My screams could be heard all the way down the gulch.
We had a sense of adventure. We read adventure stories. We'd have read such books as Biggles, Royal Air Force, Fighter Pilot. Those kind of stories was adventure stories. Right. I do think, however, that Terry read at a different level. He was more serious and he got up to a higher level of reading than I had got.
Well, the BBC News obituary editor Nick Serple is still with me, and I guess you're beginning to feel now, as we progress through these obituaries, what it was like to live through the first months of 2016. Nick, did you begin to think that some new phenomenon was occurring, that we were seeing a rash of famous deaths, the like of which we hadn't seen before?
Well, it certainly came as a rush at the beginning of the year, I must admit, and barely had you drawn breath after one, there came another. It's only when I sat down and thought about it, I thought this is a fairly obvious thing that was going to happen at some stage, because as the population gets older, there are more famous people who are also getting older, and there are also more famous people. If you look at the people we're talking about today, most of them came to fame in the time of mass media and of television. And without that, many people might not have heard of some of these people that died. So I think this is something we're going to see continuing over the years. I think the trend for deaths that affect people who die, who have come into people's living rooms, through television, through radio, is going to increase, because that generation of entertainers, singers, musicians is getting older.
And I suppose this is also the generation of the 1, 2, 3 channels of television world, where everybody in the country used to watch these programmes. Not the fragmented world that we see today in the media.
Oh, not at all. I mean, I was brought up in rural Cornwall, and we only had the BBC until the early 1960s. There was no